Hi guys, so this is the tutorial on how to make Jasmine's costume. I hope it's easy to follow. I did my best since I don't really have like certain measurement tools. I kind of just did it the best I could, so I hope you guys can follow and I hope you guys enjoy. And okay, here's the video. Okay, so for stenciling, I'm just going to use a 12-inch ruler. I'm going to try my best to do this stenciling so you guys can understand it and see it, but it's not really something that I can show so much. So let's see what I can do. What I did is I actually just started with the bottom of the pants, and then I worked the top of the pants, and then I connected both sides together. So for the bottom, hopefully you guys can see this. I will have other pictures. I made them about 14 inches. After I've drawn my line 14 inches, I'm going to come up to the top. I did about 36 inches. I'm assuming that's 3 feet. I have no idea. But mine are about 3 rulers long. And when I get to the top, I'm actually going to make this first half of the waistline about 10 inches. So, for the top half here, assuming you guys have already drawn your line and your bottom line, the best way to do this is go ahead and draw your backside line. This line has absolutely no curve and it can just go straight down. I would suggest making them about 12 inches wide to 12 and a half inches. 12 inches wide is perfect actually, unless you have super thick legs. So mine are about 12 and a half inches wide, and seems pretty good to me. There's my bottom line, and the line we're going to do right now is this camera thing is this side line right here. Okay, and that's going to connect. Where's this camera going to stop? To this top line. So here's my 10-inch. This is about 12 and a half. You could make it 12 unless you want them really baggy or something to work with. And then the bottom opens up to about 14 to 15 inches wide. You can make that smaller, it doesn't matter. This is actually not even a J. This is like a half of a U. And it is 6 inches down and 2.5 inches out towards this way. All at a curve. So it's going to go about 6 inches down, maybe about 5 and something before it starts to curve, and then it's going to come out to here, I think. Anyways, and then so after you draw your J line, I guess I can do this now. After you draw, this is really messy video, that line, you're going to draw a line down, and it's going to start from here, and it's just going to go down and connect to your bottom half. Easy enough? I think so. Besides that little weird line, if you want, you can draw half of a parabola. I like math. Don't hate me. And I don't know my feet and measurements. That's okay. Anyways, so the other half. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to start off by drawing our 14 to 15 inch line on the bottom. There's my line. And then we're going to then draw our 10-inch line on the top. And that's our half of a waistline, our other half, because this together is equal to one side of your pants. And I'm going to draw my back line, or you guys are going to draw your back line, and it's going to go right down to here and connect nice and straight. Doesn't have to be perfect. That's what sewing does. And then this J is the one that's a little bit more extended and more deeper. So instead of it being half of a U, to me it's a curved L or some sort of a J. This one is 6 inches down and 4 inches wide, And at this point right here, you want it to be curved. So when we draw, after you draw your J, go ahead and get a good look at it. And our line is going to curve a little bit right here. So you can see we have our point, and we curved just a little bit, and then we went straight down. So here's the high top view. I have another one again. Can you, well, if this wasn't so crooked. Okay. So there's our line. There's our difference in J's. This is considered front half, and this is considered back half. And these two together make one side or one leg. So here's a way better view of what you're about to sew. Here's my smaller J, half U, and here is the bigger one. You are not sewing this at all right now, at least. What you're sewing is, I'm going to try to line up this corner here, and you're going to try to sew down. It's okay that this is sticking out. I have all this piece here, that's fine. You're just going to sew along here, sew along here. Maybe we can line those up a little bit. Sew along here all the way to the end. It's totally fine. And after you do that, we have finished with one side, and you're going to get your other pieces and sew these. So after you finish the first sewing, which is the one with the smaller curve on the bottom and then the deeper curve on the top, when you sew the second one, I would reverse it. Put the smaller curve on the top and the deeper one on the bottom. Just like that. So here's the deeper cut curve, and then here's the shorter curve. The reason why I say that is because what might happen if you do them exactly the same is when you put them together, you might not have the right curves on the right side of the stitching. So, for example, if I did it the opposite way, I might end up sewing it like this in the inside, and then what happens is when I try to connect it to the other piece, it might be inside out the wrong way. So hopefully I can show you guys how it would look if I did make a mistake, but for now I would just suggest turning them inside, or switching the curve lines and putting different ones on the bottom,